Woo, yeah, it's like a party up in here. We're back, third hour, 950 Lounge, DSN Network, sponsored by Millennium Music Media, Millennium5.com, Millennium Music Media. Welcome to Music Revolution. We're joined by people that you know, I consider them family. You know, they rock out. The intro you heard when you first heard this show this morning is from this group. They do a lot of big music. The people that Andre talks about that are getting it, they do it. The people that Raquel was talking about motivation and living out the dream and giving a rat about who thinks it, they do it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome from Scholar VMP, J30, Mala Reignz. What's going on, guys?
Thank you. Scholar VMG in the building.
Yes, what I say?
Get it right, man. Get it right.
Don't give me that. Get it right. Scholar VMG.
Put some respect on my name, man.
That's because I was rallying to him. I was doing my Jesse Jackson
Take the hat back.
He still calls me Mala.
It's hard work, man.
Take the hat back.
No, my man Jay did buy me this hat Thursday. I appreciate it. That's why I rocked it today. I knew he was
Show
coming.
love, man.
No
When you
doubt.
show love, you got to give love back. You know what
I
I'm
hope
saying?
y'all enjoyed the game.
Oh, we did. We did.
definitely.
Did y'all stay late at the Billboard joint?
Still for a few minutes. We love
okay,
it.
yeah, you know, it wasn't my vibe. Let me get out of here.
It was all right.
I was going to get the text messages. I gotta go.
That was my first time at the Barclays. You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Oh, no doubt, man. We got more coming. Y'all like hockey?
I'll go.
Whatever.
Wait,
Whatever.
not
Like
during
an
the week.
experience.
Well,
Not
yeah.
during the week,
You
nah.
space these sprockets. You
Yeah,
can't get out of
I can't get out of work. I'll be at work during the week.
But you guys, man, on the music end, you guys are doing some phenomenal things, and I guess now it's been a couple years now since we've been communicating. I've seen you guys grow, and just the movement is tremendous. I mean,
Thank you.
people you rocking with and Rarefied Air, and again, like I said, you know, they got to give it to you because you kicked down the door. You know, talk about just start with you, Mal. Talk about just the journey. You know, when I heard you on Sway, somebody asked you a question about. I might be paraphrasing, but to go get like ass shots, something like that, something stupid like that.
No, she didn't ask me to go get them. She just she had asked as a female artist in the game right now, dealing with labels and stuff like that. What if they were to ask me, we'll give you the deal if you go get your body done.
That's what it was, right?
How would I handle that question, or what would I do? So my answer, not that I have anything against plastic surgery, because to each their own. I'm not a hater or anything like that, but for me, it's just not something I'm interested in. I want to just be natural, and I don't want to risk my life to just get a little lipo.
Ain't nothing wrong with you anyway. So why would they?
Well,
even
thank
say
you.
that?
I'm a work in progress, so I'll just tell you that I am working on myself. But I just feel like there needs to be some more positive female role models. I feel like in hip hop, particularly for women. So if I could be that, that's what I want to be. I just want to let girls and women know that it's okay to be yourself in your own skin. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever that might mean. I mean, it's so crazy because I'm just thinking about the other day I was watching TV and I had seen it was like a runway, and it was like lingerie but for plus size models.
Right.
But they didn't look plus size to me. They just looked like your average, what you see outside. If I was to go on Fordham Road right now, they look like, So it's just kind of like the picture that we have of women in media and, women, and especially in hip hop. I just feel like it's just so confusing. It's so distorted. So if I could bring
It's not about the music.
It is and it isn't. Because I'm not going to take away from Nicki Minaj and say she doesn't create really great music. I think she's a lyricist. I think she has a lot of talent.
Right.
But I also think that the marketing sometimes can overshadow the music at times, and it just can send just mixed messages.
And that's where the industry has changed, you know what I'm saying? Not even just for women, but for males, it's just more about the image and how you look, and how, if the beat and the hook is just good enough, and that's the bad part, like if it's just good enough. And a lot of times, like an artist, he was saying about passion, a lot of artists don't really have passion in music, you know what I'm saying? They just see what they see and they want to do what other people are doing, and that's the problem. There's no, artists are not authentic with, doing what they're doing. They're not really getting into, being creative and learning, the different tools and, the different things you could do as far as being a producer or being an artist. You know what I mean? They're just trying to do what's quick and hot.
Now, Jay, you've been doing this a while. I mean, we got footage of you with Kanye and Jen. You've been on this game a while, so you cemented your feet. You don't have to make any excuses on who you are because you're a phenomenal artist that's been putting in the work.
Thank you.
Talk about that growth from like what you saw 10 years ago to what you're seeing now.
To be honest with you, I think it just shows me that it's still a heavy grind and a heavy growth because I've been around all the top artists to artists that are still coming up with me. You know what I mean? I've seen people pass me. I've seen people, fall, real low. So I think that you really have to be focused again on your brand, your craft. I wish at a younger age that I was more focused on my brand and the thing like the business side. I was more about being the creator, which is not a problem, but
that's natural.
Business comes a long way, you know, and it's good that, everything happens for a reason. We started this label now, so not only do we want to do it for ourselves, but we want to do it for the young because the kids are coming up lost. They have no knowledge of even hip hop at all. Like they don't know artists to, production, they don't even know about ASCAP, they don't know about BMI. So we have to teach these. They're the babies. They're the future,
It's like going to work and then Friday coming and don't know when you're going to get paid. They don't have a clue.
You know what? Jay, you ought to have your own show, man, because if you were a rapper or somebody ain't chewing the game, you just bring them
it's
out.
funny you say that, Rodeo, because there are some
that
things
hat comes with a question mark.
Like I said, that's family. So there are some things that will be brought to all the guests here today. Actually, will be brought. Backstage was privy to that conversation last night. So if anybody watches my social media, you know who I met with and who I was talking about. So, but you do a little homework. Yeah. So let's talk about the label. You guys, again, were both individual artists. Kind of joined like Voltron. How did that come about? Like when you start a label with two artists that have been doing it, and you guys know how it is. We talked about a group on Thursday that was pretty successful and they broke up, a duo. But talk about how you guys had to come together and not ego driven, but because you were individuals, you were doing your own thing, and how you can collab to one unit.
Well, I was working on my project at the time, and I got up with Jay because he was producing some joints on the project. So we were just working in the studio. And after spending time, like it's a vibe, you know what I'm saying? You spend time with somebody in the studio, you're both focused on creating this sound, and you start to talking, and you're just like, the industry, and you just share, you share your complaints, you share your gripes or whatever. And it just, especially at the time, it was just so difficult. It was getting so saturated, the game, and then putting out your mixtapes and stuff like that is cool, but like, where really is it going to get you? So, we were kind of aggravated and a little frustrated at the climate of the industry and just kind of how there was lacking so many platforms for independent artists. So we just kind of joined forces because Jay had a production company, VMG, and I had when I was releasing music as just Mala Reignz as a solo artist, I always released music on Scala Music, which is my own company. So from the very beginning, we were kind of just doing the entrepreneurial thing, and together we just said, let's make this label so that two heads are better than one, and just start building this army so we could really be the movement that we feel we are and feel that the game needs.
Well, definitely the chemistry with you two are incredible from personal and from a music standpoint, because the stuff y'all put out, nobody would ever know that y'all were running two ships and then decide to become one anchor, because it's something that you guys do. I mean, I saw some video y'all were in, y'all that did some racy stuff in the video. I was like, well, that's some, they doing acting, they doing racy stuff in videos. That's what's up. But the growth has been incredible. Now, anyone you guys can answer this question: being an independent label and working not just with other artists but your own music. I mentioned it to Andre about just because of all the clutter in music. Like anybody that thinks they can rap a Hot 16 wants to be an artist and has an iTunes or a SoundCloud. Does that affect you guys? Like, does that even like slow your roll when people, you have a conversation, Malin, you go, I'm an artist, or Jay, hey, you regularize I'm a rapper. They don't necessarily know about you guys, but because everybody's doing it, does it water down what you guys make? Anybody can answer that.
Well, I'll say I don't think it waters it down. I think, to be honest with you, I've been going through this for a long time. Like, I got a lot of projects, I got a lot of material, and people ask me, why have I been sitting on material? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you talk about putting the music out and saturating the game, but the people have to decide what is a hit record. The people have to decide what is hot. We all the time in the studio saying, I got a bang, I got a hit. But that's not really it. You can have a nice sound, you can have a nice tune, you can have a nice hook, but I think longevity, again, the passion in the music, that's where it's being lost at. People are lost with the artists that are out now. There's no message, there's nothing behind it, there's no story behind these artists. And I think that's what I'm trying to give. Besides just being an artist, I'm a producer, I'm a creator. I'm really trying to show people how to create records too. Nobody's really creating records, and that's what the problem is. I'm upset about it because it's just a beat, a hook, and I really don't know what a lot of these artists are saying.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that because I call a lot of them the mumbles.
Yeah.
Everybody suffers from the mumbles.
The
What are you
mumbles.
saying? And there's certain artists that are
I
very
just feel
popular.
like it's disrespectful to not just hip hop, but music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to, I'm in the studio making music. We're creating music.
Real music.
Not just for in the club, but for a radio show or for TV.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Would you help? I mean, would you work with an artist that, like he said, had the mumbles to try to at least get them to
as a
create real
businessman,
music?
yeah, for a check, yeah, because
I like that.
I'm keeping it 100.
Mumbles on my check.
I'm keeping it 100. I'm a producer. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. I'm not in this game to just say, I'm not really feeling
gonna
him.
mess
You know what I
with
mean?
you,
This
yeah.
is a business that I'm giving. This is a platform that we're giving for artists. So if you're not that creative, I can't tell you how to be creative.
So, Rhoda, you got a chance.
You know what
I don't sing mumbles.
There's no sex in the radio room as a Rhoda going like this.
Hell no. What you talking about? We got poles in here and everything. 950
I mean, there's so many artists that are just popping right now that haven't even been doing it for a long time. Like
Yeah.
six months have went by and they just started rapping and they're getting money, getting checks. on
it
tour.
doesn't
So-
it doesn't saturate our music, but I will say that it does water down like the industry and the game itself, because there's only but so many tastemakers in the game, right?
It's a powerful word there.
You know what I'm saying? And then when the jumping clown has all their attention, and you're over here working hard and making this quality music, and you're releasing your music independently, and you can't get a look your way because the dancing clown is over here clapping his hands and making everybody stare at him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It can be very aggravating as a real artist, because we do take the time to write actual words. We do take the time to enunciate so that you
conscious
can,
about
you know what I mean?
your brand.
We take the time to choose our words carefully so that we're not sending the wrong message.
Right.
But meanwhile, you got people who don't care. They don't, it's just nothing. It's so irresponsible. You got people who don't even care to say words. It's disrespectful all around.
I blame that on the record labels, because they don't. It's like they subconsciously really don't even care.
Well,
As
listen,
long
let
as
me
it's
not
gonna
even
make
tell you
them-
what I've
as
been
long as they
reading,
make
'cause
them money.
I've been
That's all
researching.
that
I think you
matters.
might have seen some of the stuff that I've been sharing lately, and that's a little
But
deep.
do we blame the record labels? Do we blame the artists? Or do we blame the fans at this point?
I think you have to start from the very top, because at the end of the day, that's like how much choice do you think the fans really have at this point?
They have a lot of choice because we
You
make
really
the choice to listen to it. We make the choice to go out and buy it.
But
stream
your
it,
average
look at
person,
it.
do you think they know they even have a choice?
And
I don't think
once
they do.
That's where, as people, we got to say, listen, and I'm a rap head, don't get me wrong. I was up in the 80s, 90s, listening to real MCs really say real lines about things.
That's
Now
like,
I'm listening to a bunch of people
how much choice?
saying scribble scrabble about X, Y's, and Z's. They look like they playing Scrabble and putting lines together. It's not even nothing to it.
You know what?
And that's the problem.
I can understand what you're saying, May, what she's saying, but if somebody spoons feeds you constantly, after a
Right.
while you start getting adapted to.
Like
That's
you-
what I'm
like you
saying.
said,
It's like
the
it's
dancing
kind of like they
clown.
don't have a choice. I
Yeah.
feel like you got to start at the top which it is the labels. You definitely, absolutely have to blame the labels from the very top because they're the ones that make the decisions.
Putting it out.
At the
Listen,
same time,
the
it's
music could be
environment.
trash, but if they say this is going to be this year's biggest artist and they have the money to make it happen, they're paying off the award shows, they're paying off all the radio stations to play this on rotation so many times a day, so many times a week, you know, or all the tastemakers who make the taste, they don't really, they just follow a lot of them. So, you know, but at the same time, they don't want to call the flag because they may lose their job.
Right.
Or they may be not as popular, or you know what I'm saying? So you have to start from the top and blame the labels. You have to.
I
Well,
just think it's the
okay, Jay.
environment too that we're in, and with it, where the space that we're in today coming up. It's like if you're not doing nothing throughout your day, if you're not doing nothing with your day, if you're not reading, if you're not, you know, building your mindset to do something different, it's gonna affect your music too at the same time. So I think that's the biggest point of, you know, that.
For our DSN Orange, we're going to rock the J30 video, A Different Kind. We're going to take a quick break and let you see that. It's 9:53 hour with the legends here, superstars in the making.